Hello everyone, welcome back to my vlog again. So tonight I want to talking about something a little deeper, something that most people think about at least once in real life. The people we never become. Honestly, it's strange to think about right now. You're living one version of your life. You're making choices, meeting people, building habits, and creating memories. But every choice you make also closes the door to countless other possibilities. And sometimes, late at night or during quiet moments, people always wonder, what if? What if I choose a different school? What if I studied something else? What if I never met certain people? What if I took that opportunity? What if I was braver? Or what if I tried harder? And honestly, those questions can stay in someone's mind for years. One thing I realize is that life is full of invisible versions of ourselves. There is a version of you that became an athlete, a version that moved to another city, a version that started a business, or maybe a version that followed a completely different dream, the version that took a risk, and the version that never did what we did now. What the heck? I don't like that taste of the water. And honestly, shit, it's fascinating to think about how different life could have been. Another thing about the growing older is realizing that every decision creates a different future. Sometimes the smallest moment change everything. A conversations, a friendship, a random opportunity, a decision made in 5 minutes. And honestly, many life-changing moments don't feel important when they happen. Only later do people realize how much they matter. I also think many people carry quiet curiosity about the life they didn't live, not necessarily regret, just curiosity, wondering who they might have become, wondering how different things could have been. And honestly, that's very human being. Another thing I notice is that people often romanticize alternate versions of their life. They imagine that if they made different choices, everything would be perfect. But honestly, that's probably not true. Every life comes with challenge, and every path has sacrifice. Every decision solves some problems while creating others. the version of you that choose a different path would still have struggled too. Yeah, maybe the different struggle, but struggle, not not less. I also realized that regret often comes from imagining idealist alternative. Yeah, people compare their real life to a fantasy version that never exists. And honestly, rarely wins that comparison because imagination only shows the highlight, not the hidden difficult. Another thing about life is that nobody gets to experience every possibility. That's simply part of being human. Choosing one thing means not choosing another, and saying yes to one opportunity often means saying no to something else. And honestly, that's both beautiful and heartbreaking because life gains meaning through choices. If people could live every possible versions of their lives, choices would lose their significance. I also think many people are haunted by opportunities they never took, the application they never submit, the person they never talked to, and the dream they never pursued, the risks they never took. And honestly, those unanswered questions can stay with the people for a long time because certainty is easier to process than possibility. Another thing I learned is that people often judge their past self unfairly. They look back and think, I should have known better. I should have done more. I should have been braver. But yeah, honestly, past versions of ourselves make decisions based on what they know uh, at the time, based on their fears, their knowledge, their circumstance. And sometimes people forget that. I also realized that growth changed how we view our decisions. A choice that seemed terrible years ago may later reveal unexpected benefit. A disappointment may lead to an opportunity. A failure may teach an important lesson. And honestly, life often makes sense in reverse, not while it's happening. Another thing about the alternate lives is that they remind us how fragile reality actually is. One different decision, one missed bus, one unexpected meeting, one opportunity accepted, and life could look completely different. And honestly, that's incredible to think about. I also think many people imagine alternate future because they want to reassurance. They want to know whether they made the right choice. But honestly, there's rarely a perfect choice. There are only choice and the leaves pulled from them. Another thing I realized is that many people spend so much time thinking about the people they never become, that they forget the person they are becoming right now. And honestly, that's important because today's choice are creating tomorrow's memories. The future versions of you is being shaped by the decision you make today. I also notice that life is not only about the missed possibilities, it's also about expecting blessings, the friends you didn't expect to meet, the opportunities you didn't expect to receive, and the lessons you didn't expect to learn. And honestly, many beautiful things happen by accident too. Another thing I learned is that peace often comes from accepting no life is perfect, not yours, not anyone else. Every person carries hidden struggles, hidden doubt, hidden regrets, and honestly, even the version of you that seems perfect in your imagination would probably have worries too. I also think people underestimate how much they already survive. Sometimes there's a focus on what could have been that they forget everything they already overcome. The difficulties, the failure, the disappointment, the challenge, and honestly, surviving those things matters. Another thing about life is that meaning is not found in perfect choices. It's found in what people do with the choices they already made. And honestly, that's empowering because nobody can change the past, but everyone can influence the future. I also realized that some doors close forever. That's true. Some opportunities don't come back. Some moments pass. Some chapters end. And honestly, accepting that can be painful. But it also encourages people to appreciate the opportunities. Yeah, the opportunities they still have. Another thing I think about is how different people define success differently. The version that found success might envy the version that found freedom. And honestly, happiness is more complicated than most people realize. I also learned that life is not a competition between versions of yourself. It's not about proving that one path would have been better. It's about making the most of the path you're already on. And honestly, that's enough. Another thing I realized is that every person becomes a collection of choice. Some intentional, some accidental, some wise, some messy. And honestly, that's what makes every life unique. At the end of the day, I think everyone carries invisible version of themselves. The people they almost become, the life they almost live, the dreams they almost followed. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with wondering about those possibilities sometimes. But eventually, people have to return to reality. Because the only versions of life we can truly live is this one. This life happening right now. the choice being made today and the person you're becoming in this moment. And honestly, that person deserves your attention more than any imaginary version you ever could. Thank you for watching this vlog and see you in the next video. Bye bye.